score again. Take a look at the final. Redskins win this one 28-18. Cowboys finish the season 8-8. The Redskins head into the playoffs, riding a 7-game win streak. Now, here to help me break down this Cowboys breakdown, Garrett Sanders. Look, man, let's start with this game.
Yeah.
Obviously, the costly Romo turnovers. In your mind, what went wrong for the Cowboys in this one?
You know, me and you are big Romo guys.
Absolutely.
And I think we still are. I think the Cowboys are in this position because of that guy. But we're in position, and he didn't capitalize. And he made the turnovers that everyone expected him to make. And it was just at the most inopportune time. I know that there were injuries. I know that injuries on the defense, injuries on the offense. But when you've got 2 turnovers there at the first part of the game, and then at the end, your defense, there's injuries all over the place, and they make a stop to give you the ball back with 3:35 left.
And you cough it right back up.
And the second play, I don't know. It just didn't look like him tonight, and I hate putting it on it, but tonight I've got to put it on Tony, and I hate doing that because I'm such a Romo guy. I still think he's the right guy for Dallas, but tonight he just didn't get it done.
Well, and I got to tell you, man, I mean, this game is the perfect kind of microcosm of what this whole season has been. I mean, if you take a look at some of the highlights from this entire year, this is what the Cowboys have been. Horrible at the beginning. They were horrible at the beginning of the season. And then they were horrible once again at the beginning of a game. You had a chance here to possibly bail yourself out, possibly get in a position. But looking back at some of these, this is the Chicago game. This is the one you and me watched this game together.
We watched at your house.
That's right. We were at the apartment watching this one. And Romo, you saw no growth. And you know, Jason Witten made that comment in training camp. It can't be the same old story.
Right.
Well, looking at this Cowboys highlights, looking at the way this game went, I don't know, man. I think it is the same old story. And I'm like you. I'm a Tony Romo guy.
Yeah.
But Romo absolutely choked tonight. And this is what we always are defending him. Right. This is what the Romo haters are going to say. And you know what? They're right tonight.
I can't say anything back. And, you know, we call each other. We usually keep in contact pretty much. Exactly. During the Cowboys games, talking about it. And when Dallas beat Pittsburgh, that was the big moment for the late turn the corner, and we were both excited. But I mentioned to you that night, I said, I'm still worried. We are 8-6 with 2 games left. If Dallas drops its next 2 games, which they did, they will fit the narrative everyone set out for them. And that's what they did tonight. And I hate it because this team fought so hard week in and week out.
So many incredible comebacks.
It really was, but just you can't play with fire like that. They were one of the worst first quarter offenses in the league. So even if you're the best fourth quarter team, it's going to bite you like it did tonight.
Yeah, and I think you said it perfectly when we were watching back there. Sometimes you don't have to play great. Right. You just have to be like RG3, not turn over the ball.
Exactly.
Speaking of turnover, these are the big questions now. What players and what coaches are going to be coming back? I mean, you take a look at some of the free agents that the Cowboys might lose. Anthony Spencer, Felix Jones. In your mind, heck, let's talk about the coach, Jason Garrett. Tell me this. Is Garrett safe?
I think Garrett is safe. I believe that the way that they did make that turnaround, I think the Josh Brent situation, I think the way he handled that is going to go a long way. I believe the way they played down the stretch for the most part is going to keep him around. I don't think Jerry's going to bail on that yet. And I also believe that with the injuries, so many going on, it's hard to hold that against him as well. That being said, you still saw a lot of the same problems at the end of games. The Baltimore game stands out the most of just end-of-the-game decision-making. And it seemed like during a game when Jason was calling plays that the team would stall and they would come back to life when Romo started calling the plays. Yeah. I think he's going to be fine, but it's got to get better on all areas for Dallas.
And for me, the guys that I want to see come back, obviously I want to see Jason Garrett come back. I think we did see some Cowboys growth. I am not interested in Felix Jones returning to this team. I think we've seen that DeMarco Murray is a much better running back, but the Cowboys are going to have to go out there and either in the draft or free agency find some sort of way to get a running back that's kind of a change of pace guy.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, DeMarco's fantastic. He really, despite the late season fumbles, really doesn't fumble a ton, but the Cowboys need an absolute burner. DeMarco can be your grinded out 3 and 4 yards guy, but the Cowboys are going to need some sort of change of pace back. Other than that, I think we lose Mike Jenkins and John Phillips, the tight end. I don't know if he's. I'm a big John Phillips fan. Do you think real quickly that he's done enough to get another contract?
I didn't see much of him this year. I don't think it was his fault. I just don't think he had a lot of PT this year. I think Jason Witten having such a great season really overshadowed what Phillips had to do this year.
It's the Martellus Bennett syndrome, except for like John Phillips, I like more than Martellus Bennett.
Of course.
All right, we were talking about running backs. One East Texan that we got a spotlight tonight.
Right. Exactly. That's former Palestine Wildcat Adrian Peterson came into today's game against the Packers, needing 208 yards to break Eric Dickerson's single-season rushing yards record.